on AM Extra this morning. Linfield College in McMinnville has been undergoing some big changes this year. It has changed its name to Linfield University.
Okay, the university has also transformed amid a pandemic while adding some new programs to its roster. Joining us live with all the details is Linfield University's president, Miles K. Davis. Good morning.
Good morning, Emily and Jenny. I'm happy to be here with you this morning.
Yeah, thanks for being with us. So you're not only the president, you're also the chairman of the Association of Oregon Private Colleges and also the first Black president in Linfield's history.
Yes, and Linfield has a glorious history, and I'm honored to be a part of this institution. And it just represents the forward thinking on behalf of our Board of Trustees and our staff, faculty, and students that will continue to step into the future and deal with the changes that are actually happening in the educational environment.
Yeah, so Miles, let's talk about some of those changes. Walk us through the transformation here from college to university. What has been happening at Linfield this year?
Well, it's an exciting time for us. So the reality of it is that we had a glorious history of 162 years as a college. We were started as an affiliate of the American Baptist Convention. However, what our students are beginning to tell us is they wanted more expanded programs, they wanted greater opportunities. And as you probably already aware, we had the Good Samaritan School of Nursing in Portland. So now we will have a School of Business as well as a College of Arts and Science, because the liberal arts is at our foundation. And so we want to do more than prepare people just for a job. We want to prepare people to be effective citizens and to engage in that thing that is so important that companies want to be able to think critically, to be able to solve problems and make contributions in multiple dimensions. And so that led us to becoming a university with our first deans of a School of Business and the first dean of a College of Arts and Science.
Right, and a university, does that mean that you're also offering advanced degrees now as well?
You got it. You identified what it is. And so now, for the first time this year, we're offering a Master of Science in Nursing. It's a program uniquely rooted within the type of school that Linfield is, which is this is a Master's of Science in Healthcare Ecosystems, which means that it incorporates multidisciplinary thinking about how to address issues in the nursing profession. Expect more of those types of things to come.
Well, gosh, that is certainly needed right now. I'm sure all of these changes were in the works ahead of a pandemic, that we've been seeing this year. So I'm curious, how has it been also having to establish rules around COVID-19? Are students back on campus?
Well, thank you for asking about that. Students are in fact back on campus. In fact, most private schools in Oregon, students are back on campus. Students have been back on campus for 5 weeks. We have testing of every single student, and we're doing ongoing surveillance testing of our student populations. So the changes have been in place, and quite frankly, Emily and Jenny, what we have to keep in mind is that we are going to eventually learn how to dance with this virus. And so we have to prepare for what happens next. And so yes, while some may say it's challenging to move forward with these changes in the era of pandemic, our response is why not? Because we have an opportunity to rethink everything as we move forward and be prepared, because there are lessons that we're learning during COVID and the era of this pandemic that will benefit us once the pandemic is passed.
Yeah, I know a lot of colleges and universities across the country have had issues with outbreaks. Has Linfield seen any? And if so, what do you do to quarantine, I guess, the students or the faculty?
So we were well prepared for this. We set aside housing space for quarantine. And let's be clear, when you look at the numbers, there's just no comparison. So one of the headlines that came out, and again, I'm not trying to throw shade in anyone's direction, but we need to look at some facts. And so you saw the headline, University of Alabama had 1,200 COVID cases. Well, people forget that University of Alabama has 39,000 students. Linfield has 1,980. And so we have had less than 5 cases consistently at Linfield. Again, we're testing every student, and we have capacity set up for quarantine. So going back to the University of Alabama reference, that 1,200 number represents 3% of their population. For us, that 3% would represent around 40 students. And we have more than enough capacity. We've reserved dorms. We also have properties around the campus where we can quarantine students and put them in isolation. But thank God we've had to minimally use that in a space. And I want to give credit where credit is due, because people are blaming students. I have to thank our students. Matter of fact, one of the complaints that we're receiving these days, if you can call it a complaint, is that people feel like they're being watched. Because if you walk around on this campus without a mask on, somebody's going to come up to you and say, "Put your mask on." They're practicing social distancing. They're doing all the right things that need to be done to protect themselves, because one of the things that we forget in our conversation about higher education is that higher education provides more than just academic preparation. It provides a maturation process in this country. And also, we may be the only place where people get to healthcare, where people get consistent access to the internet, where
Right.
people get access to a room. These are things that are important. The students want to be here. And Emily and Jenny, as a parent, I actually have breaking news for you, is that people do not want to be in the house with you 24/7.
I was going to say, I'm sure you have a lot of
Yeah.
students who are just very thankful that they actually
Yeah.
do get to be on campus. Miles, I don't mean to cut you off, but we got to go to break here. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Good luck with the school year ahead. Lots of exciting changes at Linfield University. If anyone wants to learn more about the programs, we're going to put more information on coin.com.